What is going on, guys? XHOUNDISHx here, and thanks a lot for dropping by today for my top 5 exotic primaries in PvP. So this will be for year 2 weapons, although as you will imagine, a lot of them will be year 1 weapons that have been upgraded as well, because obviously they're very, very strong. But this is just my opinion. These are weapons that I feel would be better in a large variety of PvP content, so they'd be the more competitive weapons that can stand up in Trials, Iron Banner, and just play in general Crucible and kind of perform very strongly. There are a lot of exotics inside of Destiny, so some of the stuff in here you probably won't agree with. Of course, you can let me know down below what your favourite weapons are or anything you would change with this list. But for now, you guys enjoy the video and I'll catch you very soon. So in at number 5, and it's going to be Boolean Gemini. Boolean Gemini is an exotic scout rifle from the Taken King. There's nothing super special or outstanding about this weapon, but I do feel like its PvP capacity is a little bit underrated because it's a very, very punchy scout rifle. It's the 37 rate of fire, 48 impact variety of scout rifle, very similar to Hung Jury and Vision of Confluence, but this thing absolutely hits like a truck in PvP. It does 61 critical damage, 41 to the body, and it's got insanely good range stats as well. So if you can get those long kind of lines of sight on people with this weapon, it will really surprise them how much damage and how quickly you can actually kill them, which is pretty damn awesome, and it's one of my favorite things about this weapon. Like I said, it hits like an absolute truck. So it actually has 2 exotic perks, one way or another. One way gives you bonus agility on precision kills, which can stack up to 3 times, which I think is a pretty interesting perk. It could be pretty good if you're kind of shooting people at a very long line of sight. You can kind of keep shooting and get in and out of the fight quicker, which is pretty cool, and kind of the strafing movement with scout rifles at long range is still a pretty strong thing. So having bonus agility to kind of move left and right and really mess up their target acquisition even more is pretty good. The or another bonus gives you bonus armor on non-precision kills, which I'm not the biggest fan of because I don't generally try to get non-precision kills. I may hit the body at some point, but ultimately you're going to want to land headshots. So it's an interesting bonus. I did try it out here a little bit. There's nothing majorly noticeable about it. I think the one-way bonus is considerably better, but that is Boolean Gemini. So up next we have the Tlaloc, and this is the Warlock specific exotic scout rifle you can get from the gunsmith at rank 3. It's another 37 rate of fire, 46 impact scout rifle, and there's nothing really special about the scout rifle at all until you have the overflow perk active. So the overflow perk gives you more stability, a higher rate of fire, and it also increases your reload and ADS times ever so slightly as well, making this weapon absolutely brutal. It's a very high rate of fire once you have that perk active and everything like that. So it probably would be in the top kind of 1 or 2 weapons in the entire of Destiny PvP, but the only thing that sets it back is the fact that you need the overflow perk active, otherwise it's a pretty standard weapon, and it's also a Warlock specific weapon, which kind of removes its potential from being higher up in this list. But it does 60 critical damage and 40 to the body, which is very similar to Boolean again, but considering the rate of fire is considerably higher once you have the overflow perk active, it just makes this thing is like an LMG sniper scout thing. It's just brutally good, surprisingly good. So that is Tlaloc. In at number 3, it's going to be the trusty old Red Death. So this thing is still an absolute beast in PvP. It's the 66 rate of fire and 14 impact variety of pulse rifle, which is pretty much the most popular broad variety of pulse rifle inside of Destiny PvP right now. Very similar to No One's Mercy and No Time to Explain. It does 34 critical damage and 23 to the body. Doing 34 critical damage, if you land all headshots on 2 bursts, you can still 2 burst with Red Death, which obviously makes it a pretty damn strong weapon. The exotic perk on this is Red Death, which kills with this weapon heal you and speed up reload. So if you are gunfighting kind of one person at a time, get your health back, speed up a reload, you can get straight back into another gunfight, which makes this thing absolutely awesome. And the health regen bonus back in the day was one of the most popular things to counter and survive gunfights against the Thorn. But when you consider that this is very similar archetype to most of the other popular pulse rifles inside of PvP right now, a lot of gunfights have the potential to be pretty close, and you might only just win that gunfight, so having health regen on that kill is going to be pretty damn awesome. So that is the trusty old Red Death. So, up next is the Mida Multi-Tool, and this is a weapon that I feel was kind of underrated in year 1 and is about to make its way to year 2, which is the reason, of course, that it's in this list. So it's a 42 rate of fire, 37 impact style of scout rifle, which are the opposite kind of stats to the Boolean and the Tarlock. So it's really kind of a very fast rate of fire, very agile scout rifle, which is pretty effective at long and close ranges as well, which is one of the reasons I think that it will become, more popular again after the December update, where pulse rifles are going to be kind of less strong. Scout rifles are going to stay pretty much the same, and this obviously is being upgraded to year 2, and I think it's going to become very, very popular. So the exotic perk Mida Multi-Tool boosts movement speed and fires on a hair trigger. So this is a pretty popular choice back in the day for high agility build kind of hunters, or any class for that matter, but it's really great for that high kind of strafe movement, and if you get the right range, you kind of can outgun people with pulse rifles at the right range. It becomes very, very strong and very effective. So it does 57 critical damage and 38 to the body, which, when you consider its rate of fire and its handling, are pretty damn good stats, and I think, like I said, we will see this become more popular in the year 2 version in December. So that is the Mida Multi-Tool. So in the number 1 slot, and this is my opinion, remember, it is going to be Bad Juju. So this is a weapon that wasn't the most popular in year 1 PvP, but has really kind of started to shine in year 2's meta. So it's a 73 rate of fire, 6 impact style of pulse rifle, which is basically the exotic version, or the closest things to it are things like the Hawk Saw. So it's doing 27 critical damage and 18 to the body. Remember, this weapon has full auto, which is pretty damn awesome in general. The exotic perk, String of Curses, weapon reloads after a kill and grants bonus super energy. So as soon as you get a kill, the magazine is just totally refunded on this weapon. So if there's multiple targets in front of you, you can basically keep shooting and you don't have to worry about reloads. And the bonus super energy from this weapon is always going to be pretty damn awesome if you're running a high intellect build in general PvP, running around getting a lot of kills with this weapon. You'll be getting supers off like crazy. So that really is what I think makes this weapon stand out very, very well, at least for general PvP. And yeah, it's become considerably more popular. Like I said, it performs much better in year 2 against this meta. Obviously, the lower impact kind of pulse rifles back in the day were much harder to use than they are now, but that is Bad Juju. So there you go, guys, that is my top 5 exotic primaries, and there's a lot of stuff that I wanted to have in this list, and it was kind of difficult to decide. We've still got Hawkmoon, The Last Word, Monte Carlo, No Time to Explain. There's a lot of other very solid exotic weapons inside of Destiny. It's just that in this list, I wanted to kind of focus on which weapons would be the most competitive and are kind of solid for a broad variety of content, whether it's Trials, Iron Banner, or just standard Crucible. And that's kind of the justification behind why I chose these particular weapons. It's not to say that there aren't other very strong or very usable exotics in the right hands. So that's kind of my list, guys. Let me know anything you would change in that list, or any primaries you would want to see on that list, or just tell me your top 5 primary weapons for PvP. And if you have enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop me a like, and if you are new to the channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button to see a lot more Destiny content. But for now, thanks for watching the video, and I will catch you guys very soon. Peace out.